Oh my God! That's another one. That is an Acura TSX Sport Wagon while I'm driving an Acura TSX Sport Wagon. Ha! I don't even know if he noticed. That's hilarious. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dietrich, and today we are test driving a 2013 Acura TSX Sport Wagon. This is a pretty rare model. Acura only made it from 2011 to 2014, and they only ever offered it with one powertrain combination, the 2.4 liter four-cylinder engine with 201 horsepower and 170 torques and a 5-speed automatic transmission. Wah, wah. They denied the enthusiasts the long roof model with the 6-speed manual, which is fine because they wouldn't have bought it new anyway. They just would have wanted other people to buy it new so that they could buy it used 5 to 10 years later. But this is a used car. It's got 89,617 miles on it currently. And one interesting thing about the TSX Sport Wagon, so when this car was being made, you could get the TSX sedan with two different powertrains. You could either get it as a 4-cylinder, same like this car, or as a V6. If you got the sedan with a V6, it came with a sport-tuned suspension. They put that same sport-tuned suspension on all of the TSX Sport Wagons. Interesting choice on Acura's part, but even 11 years on after the car was built, it still pays dividends because this car handles quite well. It is a fun little car to drive. The 4-cylinder engine obviously is a little bit lacking in low-end torque, but it still sounds great, and it does a decent job motivating the car down the road. There's some people crossing the crosswalk on horses. There you go. They do that around these parts. I do love the way that the engine sounds. A good K-Series Honda engine is very hard to beat, and this is definitely one of those. It's got the VTEC, that's for sure. Brakes feel solid. A little bit of squeaks and rattles coming from the rear of the vehicle somewhere. The cavernous wagon cargo area sometimes does cause that. Great brakes. This was actually based on the European version of the Honda Accord, which was a little bit smaller than the US market version of the Accord. Meant to handle a little bit tighter, slightly more upmarket. This was back when they did still occasionally build Acuras in Japan, and this one was built in Japan. Five-speed auto, still shifts pretty smooth. It does have paddle shifters. Look out. Pretend like we're Formula One drivers. VTEC, yo! There does seem to be a cam shift right around 5,000 RPM. You can kind of feel it get a little bit more responsive. This engine would be more fun with a manual, is more fun with a manual. I've driven this engine with a manual, but it's fine with the automatic. If they would have built this wagon with a stick shift, they would have sold about 300 of them. during the entire model span. Pretty smooth ride and pretty refined over a smooth road. This is an interesting road because it goes all bumpy here in a second, even though somehow it still looks smooth. So let's see. Here we go. Yeah, not bad. Pretty comfortable. Few squeaks and rattles, but that's to be expected on an 11-year-old car. I can forgive it that. I'd say the engine is the best part about driving this car. Even though the power numbers are not that impressive, the willingness and just the way that the engine revs and sounds, it is very enjoyable. And the handling is good too. It was an interesting choice at the time on Acura's part to put the sport suspension on the wagons, but I'm glad they did. I think it was a good call. Maybe the stiffer suspension worked a little bit better for carrying heavier loads, and that had something to do with it. I don't really, I'm not familiar with why they made that call back then, but good on them for doing it. And it's the old, even with the automatic, it's the old naturally aspirated engine feel of a twitch of the foot, and you feel a difference in the engine output. And of course, you know, there the transmission just downshifted, but if it stays in gear, you still get that feeling. Even at light throttle openings, the 4-cylinder does have enough power. It's not the torquiest thing in the world, but it definitely gets the car moving. I feel like if you used the wagon body style to its fullest potential and loaded it up with cargo, it probably would be a little bit sluggish in that application, but just as a driver, it's good. It's got a great engine and a nice suspension and good steering and good brakes. It's a good car to drive. I wonder if wagons will ever make a true comeback, or if SUVs have just kiboshed them for the end of time. I don't know. Nothing lasts forever and anything is possible. Ooh, there goes another Acura with a beak on it. And there goes a British Racing Green Mini Cooper, and here I go in hot pursuit. That's fun. This is a fun car to drive. There's no way around it. Oh my God! That's another one. That is an Acura TSX Sport Wagon while I'm driving an Acura TSX Sport Wagon. Ha! I don't even know if he noticed. That's hilarious. What are the odds of that? Honestly, pretty good where I am in Southern California. But good Lord. That's pretty strong. This guy doesn't even care. Drove by, didn't even look at me, which I suppose is fine because I've got my GoPro strapped to my head. Good Lord. Doesn't understand the significance. They're even the same color. How do you get two Acura TSX Sport Wagons this close together? There's no way I could have planned this, because how would I ever find anybody else who had one of these things? That is so amazing. This is the best day ever. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I can see another TSX Sport Wagon. And I won't forget the men who died so that I could drive a TSX Sport Wagon. And I'll gladly stand up next to you, even though your brake light's out. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. This guy still doesn't care. God bless the TSX Sport Wagon. I think that's, I can't do any better than that. I cannot do any better than that. Another TSX Sport Wagon while I'm driving a TSX Sport Wagon. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Bald Man Summer will live forever. Goodbye.